Hi, Connor. We saw you chirping Biz Nasty in Vegas. I'd like to know what your takeaway was from that whole trip. You know, seeing a Stanley Cup final game, seeing the atmosphere. I mean, just what did you come away from seeing that game in that spot, thinking maybe someday you can be in one?
Yeah, it definitely. I think when you're watching, it makes you want to play in it that much more. And I mean, it was great. Like, it's great the NHL does that for us. And I hadn't met Leo and Will, so it was good to spend time with them and get to know them and stuff. So, I mean, it was awesome. I've never been to a Cup final game in Vegas. Their fans are crazy. So it was a really cool experience, and we all really enjoyed it.
And did you meet Jack Eichel in the locker room?
Yeah, I'd met him before. He was at the Bausteel camp last year, so I knew him a little bit. But yeah, I saw him.
Connor, it's been a long year. I mean, it's starting with the first World Juniors back in the summer as well. How are you tired? I mean, it feels like the spotlight's been on you all year, and now you're kind of in the final months here, where it's gonna, this part of your career is going to end. But how have you been able to handle the spotlight that's been on you for not just this year, but the last few?
Yeah, I think just kind of taking things day by day, and I mean, I'm focused on what's important and what I control, and with my own team and my own play, of course. So you don't really think about that stuff. I mean, there's some extra interviews and attention and whatnot, but for me, if I'm just staying focused on kind of what I need to be focused on and trying to become a better player and better person. So it's kind of how I handle it, I feel like.
Connor, we have a pretty good idea who you're going to be playing for next year, but how many teams, I'm curious, wanted to interview you in that over the week, and how did you handle that? Yeah,
it was a pretty good amount. I'll kind of keep the number to myself, I think, but I talked to a good amount, and it was really good. It's always exciting when you can talk to a team of the league you dream of playing in. So I had a lot of fun with it, and it's been a great week.
What kind of stuff can you learn from that, from talking to GMs and scouts and what have you?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely learn some things. They're kind of, the ones running those teams, and getting to talk to them and kind of build some relationships with some of them, of course, with the meetings was good.
Connor, I know you're a guy that stays in the moment, one foot in front of the other, but are you getting impatient here? Like, is you just want to get? Is this just another signpost on the road? You want to get to Nashville and get this done and get started on your pro career?
No, I mean that kind of mindset is, this is our dreams and stuff. So, all of this, I think we kind of just got to take in and enjoy it, and obviously want to see what happens and whatnot. But for me, I'm just trying to enjoy kind of everything that goes along with it.
You gonna do all the testing here?
Yeah. I mean, we did the stuff yesterday, and then we had the bike today. So, kind of the last stop tomorrow.
Last question: what was any off the wall questions that you got from teams?
Nothing too wild, no. I think there's been some in the past years that people have had some stories about, but nothing too crazy.
Hey, Connor, just what was your conversation like with Kyle Davidson and with the Blackhawks throughout the year and then this week as well?
Yeah, it was good. I met them last summer once, and then to see them again here was good, and kind of have some conversations with them, of course, and I enjoyed that, kind of getting to know them and whatnot. So it was good, and I had fun with it.
If they do select you, I guess what would be your attitude going into that in a situation where the team's in such a rebuild and you'd be kind of a central piece right away?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, the history with that organization and that city with sports would be unbelievable, and we'll see what happens. But if they do select me, that would be a huge honor.
Connor, I see that your buddy Kent Johnson scored 11 points in line while you were down here, but still lost the game. Do you happen to have any advice for him on maybe winning the next game?
No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, get 12 or 13, I guess. But no, I think me and AC, we were asleep. It's pretty late games, but yeah, I mean, he's a pretty good player. Obviously, it sucks how we lost that one.
Now, the friendship that you have, though, him and Kent Johnson and Andrew Cristall as well, just how important has that friendship been going up here? And then on Cristall himself, just how good of a player is he that you get to see him and play with him like this?
Yeah, I mean, for, with Kent, him having the experience in the NHL and obviously playing that last full season, and, kind of asking him questions and learning kind of what he thought of it and stuff has been great for me, and skating with him all the time. But yeah, and Andrew, I think he's probably the smartest hockey player I've got to play with, and obviously watched this year, and just the things he's able to do out there, and what he does with the puck, and how well he creates offenses. Some of the best I've ever seen. So he's a special player, and he's gonna make a team really happy.
Connor, what's your reaction to Matthew Wood getting the recognition that he has throughout this process, and what makes him such a dynamic talent?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he deserves it. He's excelled at every level he's played in. I mean, the year he had in the BCHL last year was record-breaking, and same this year, being a 17-year-old in that league of up to I think 24, 25-year-old players. So it's remarkable what he's done, and he's same thing. He's so smart, and the way he shoots the puck is unreal. So it's all deserved, and he's a great player.
Hi, Connor. I'll take you back in time a little bit, but 3 years ago, you were granted the exceptional status. I was just curious to know, looking back 3 years after, how do you think it benefited you, and what do you think you got out of it?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, for me, getting to play with guys up 20 years old when I was 15. I mean, you learn so much. You're not gonna be playing the same way that you do with your own age, and you gotta adjust and adapt and kind of change your game a little bit, which makes you really have to think the game, and that can really help you. So for me, it was great, and I was pretty thankful they gave it to me, and I think it helped me a lot.
Connor, through all the times and the shots that you took in your happy place, through the vacations that you didn't go on, do you allow yourself to reflect back while also look ahead and get a glimpse of what that moment might be like on that Wednesday night in Nashville?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely been a lot of work put in, and everyone here has been I think putting a lot of work in since they were really young. So I think for all the guys, it's pretty exciting that it's coming up, and I guess only 3 weeks away now. So it's pretty close, and it's definitely in the back of your head a lot. But I think we're all pretty excited.
And just how important do you think it was, as you reflect back, to have John Paddock, somebody who's very experienced at coaching at every level, to have him, be your mentor there in Regina for those 2 seasons?
Yeah, it's been huge. I mean, John's been great for me and for our team, and like you said, he's been at every level. He's coached, GM'd, and everything in between. So some of kind of the stories about guys you can tell, or experiences he has had, has been great for our team, and I've learned tons from him.
Connor, what quality in your game do you feel sets you apart from the other prospects in this class?
I don't know. I'm not gonna compare myself to other guys or anything, but I think for me, I think my best attribute is probably my hockey IQ, and I'm pretty creative and stuff, and love to try to create plays. But I think hockey IQ is probably my best attribute.
And who would be your NHL comparable, and why?
Not sure. I get asked that question a lot and never really have an answer. I watch a lot of hockey, and try to take things from guys, and try to add them to my game. And I don't know if I'm really the guy to ask for comparable. I'm not too sure.
Connor, where did your love for inline hockey come from?
I mean, I've been playing since I was like 5 or 6, so it's like hockey. I mean, I always really enjoyed it, and it's not as serious, of course. It's a lot of fun, and I'm still playing now, so it's been, I guess, 11, 12 years, and I've had a lot of fun with it, and enjoy kind of going back and playing again every summer.
Who in this draft class is the best at inline hockey?
Well, I don't know if anyone plays it but me and Andrew, so it's me or him. I'll take me.
Hi, Connor. I'm just curious to know, have you talked to any first pick overall, and if so, what type of advice have you received from them, how to handle pressure, expectation, and everything?
Yeah, I got to talk to like McDavid a bit with like last summer, kind of training over there for a week or whatever, and I mean, you don't talk about it too much, but I think just kind of living in the moment's a big thing that a lot of people have told me, and I think that's huge with kind of all the outside noise and all the stuff going on, and to just enjoy things and kind of be where your feet are. So I think that's good advice I've got from a few guys.
Hello, Connor. I was curious, what age did you allow yourself to start thinking of the NHL as the goal?
Well, it's always the goal. I mean, ever since you're a kid and you first touch a hockey stick, that's kind of that's the best players in the world, best league in the world, and you watch it and grow up kind of being a fan of it. And for me, I think all the guys here, if you ask that, they've all dreamed of playing in the NHL, and that's always been the main goal. So I think as young as I can remember, that's been kind of the dream for sure.
Has the realization hit you that you're going to be an NHL player, or when did that happen?
Well, I mean, I still haven't played a game, of course, so I don't think it would hit me till I play it if I do. So it's hard to kind of think about that, but of course I'll work as hard as I can to try to achieve that goal, and hopefully I do.
Hey Connor, as you've been interviewing with teams this week, have there been questions you've been asking the Blackhawks or whoever else just important to you about, I guess, preparing for that next step?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you gotta kind of be a sponge with some things, and as much knowledge as you can get on the league, which would help your training and kind of your preparation to try to make it and try to play in that league. So I think asking questions is great and trying to figure some stuff out, and they can definitely give you some little tips.
Focusing on this off season to prepare?
I mean, it's always everything, and you always want to improve in every area. But I think the game's so fast, and if I want to be at that next level, then skating's huge. I mean, just the way the game's going, and then some small things. I want to work on my one-timer a bit, and maybe scoring a few more goals kind of around the net. But those are a few things. But maybe for me, I always want to work on everything. Thanks.